Hey, if y'all ready for some more show, let me hear you say hell yeah.
Yeah.
Coming to the show right now, she is one of the many loves of my life that stood out and made me feel like a man's supposed to feel.
This is already going left.
Let me tell you something. She's an author. She's a comedian. She's a motivational speaker. She's a spy. She's a dance instructor. She's a fitness guru. She's one of the baddest women that ever walked the planet. Hey, let me tell you something right now, man. She's a motivator and inspirator. And she's here right now at Party and Bullshit. Y'all start clapping for my friend, my player partner. In the name of Jesus.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And she speaks fluent men. She know by men all day in the hallway. Yo.
We could have just went with stand-up comedian and author.
No.
I don't know what all that
you deserve to be praised. You deserve to be praised. You done did something.
It is Women's Month. And you know what? They try to only celebrate one day. Y'all notice that?
It be every day.
Yeah.
They need us every day. Right.
Ladies, y'all take this over. Take this over. Let's go in.
Some of us, right.
Let's be real. Some of us ain't shit. Most of us are pretty good.
Take it. Who going first? Come on.
The room
Come on.
already.
Come on.
I know you
Come
did.
on. Don't get scared now, ladies. Go in. Rapid fire.
Please tell us about your book. You said you were an author.
Yeah. Well, the book is called Speak Fluent Man, the top things women should consider before blaming a man.
Ooh, wow.
Did you hear what she just said?
I like that.
Hey, Teo.
Come on, man.
Teo.
Now, I like this.
You heard what she just said?
Come on, man.
Come
on, man. I'm going through some things.
Because you know y'all crazy. You know y'all crazy.
Come on, man.
And he sang R&B songs.
Come on, man.
Teo, Drew Hill. Drew Hill. Come on,
I
man.
like Drew Hill. So you gonna do that to us?
Yeah, let me get that on one knee. So
What am I doing?
Things we should consider before we blame the man?
Absolutely.
Come on, you know what you be doing.
Come on.
You know what you be doing.
Not for nothing. Self-love
Everybody's
without
stupid.
self-awareness is
See,
self-destructive.
it's always some comeback shit. No, we talking about.
No, that was agreeing with her. Come on, keep up.
You gotta think about it before you act. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let's talk. Same thing
let's
with
talk
that
about it. I
too.
want to hear this.
I want to know. I like listening to this interaction so I can see where everybody is.
Why you believe niggas ain't shit?
I don't agree with that.
Why?
I think there's men that ain't shit, and then there's women that ain't shit, and
Come
there's
on,
a
man.
lot of us
Yes.
on both sides that are. So in terms of the book, right, I named it Speak Fluent Man because just like if I want to learn Mandarin, right, I might go to China. I'll get into the culture, I'll take classes, I'll be trained, I'll learn the technique, and then I might become fluent in Mandarin. But nobody's gonna think that I'm Chinese. They're gonna know I'm a little black girl from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that just learned how to speak another language, and they'll respect that and communicate with me better. So that's how I look at it in terms of men. We as women, we always want them to cater to our needs. We want them to understand some of the stuff that we do, but we'll be so quick to marginalize their crap. We should understand them just as much as we. It's about accountability and the reciprocating will. It's not always just about us. It's about what they want too. Like in the beginning of a relationship, right? Everybody starts out in the honeymoon phase. Everybody's happy. He's doing the flowers thing and all of that. And women are doing what they're doing. For instance, men will lie to get pussy, right? We agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
But women will lie to get relationships. Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Some do.
Okay, well, I'm speaking generally about women and men. We both on both sides may do things up front and not be honest. And
like
we
what?
get trapped in
Like what?
shitty
Like
relationships.
we send our representatives to the table.
Yeah, I don't have a representative. A lot of people talk about the representative, and here's what happens with we already know what the men's representative is. The flowers, the sweet talk, the early morning text, stuff that might go away later, right?
What's the woman's representative?
The woman's representative, here's an example. Oh, I love football. What's that team? That's my team too. That's my team too. Every Sunday I'm gonna make hamburgers, I'm gonna make hot dogs. Come on over. It's a party. It's party and bullshit at my house every Sunday. But once I get you locked in a relationship, oh no, I don't know. No. Yeah, Sunday we're going to church.
We're going to church on Sunday.
No, that man is still the same man. He came in the door. That's what he does on
So
Sunday.
you're here to stand up for the men that literally say happy wife, happy life, and those women who forget that.
No,
It
ain't no. Hey, I was married one time. It ain't happy wife, happy life. Yo,
it's not happy wife. No, I didn't say that at all.
No,
people.
No, definitely. Like what I said was,
I'm a woman. I'm on our side by default.
No,
I want us to
definitely.
be better. And how do we become better? We already know men have a certain amount of power over us, especially physically.
No, we don't.
That's
Shut up.
I be
Y'all
slaying like.
I have a good question. Do you think that men and women are equal?
No.
Okay, can you explain that a little bit?
Apples and oranges are equal as fruit.
But what about
But they are
spiritual-
two different
spiritually?
fruit.
What about spiritually?
I don't know how to answer that.
That's a broad.
I got
question.
spiritually. This is not more.
What do you mean, religion? Like, do we go to the same church?
I mean, like, no. Spiritually.
As spirits, so when we die and become
Yeah.
Casper the Friendly
That's-
Ghost,
Do you
oh, I
think
don't know,
it
I
equals
ain't
that
died yet. I don't
way?
know.
Do you think it equals that way? You know, some people.
Spiritually, I
they
guess,
are
but
traditional.
right here on Earth, where we're trying to grow and learn, I think that it's obvious. Like this, I don't know her name, but there's a woman who, congratulations to her, but she just got a scholarship to play football.
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about.
In college. Now, I'm going to sit here and be honest. I'm happy for her, but I think that we as women, for a fight for equality, end up putting men in an awkward position. And we put ourselves in an awkward position too because it's false equality. That's not real equality. Because as soon as she steps on the field, the men on the field have two choices. They either let her win, because they're just
don't do that.
No,
Don't do that. As a female,
we're not doing that.
football. That's
Or they maim her. They maim her. And then they're assholes
But how
for
is she
playing at their
playing on a
first
man?
game.
No, at
She
the end of
can't
the
play
day, you play the game.
She's
You play
playing
the
on
game.
a
You get hit and you get popped just like
She's
anybody else on the
playing
ground.
on a man's
You
team,
decided to play.
which is crazy.
She gonna die.
And not as a kicker.
She gonna
I know a
die.
lot of women in the past, they went out as kickers. Not as a kicker. I think she's a
Not a
quarterback.
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 Yes.
Wide
She's a
receiver.
quarterback.
Yes.
No.
Now I'll pose the question back to you. Is that, are we really equal in those terms?
Her offensive line
But,
better be
can I start
jumping.
Now, if she got the job, if she has the job now, right? So she should get paid exactly what a man in that position should get
Right.
paid.
Right.
And she should get hit
Exactly.
just like
But to me,
Right, but that's the
Right.
awkward position that we
True.
put men in when we talk
Because
about.
that's the awkward position.
That's not necessarily true
And
because it
it's
works
for
on
the
both
quarterback.
sides though. Because isn't there a track and field runner right now that's running on the women's team?
Right, I don't
What's
agree
the,
with that either.
What is this gladiator? I'm gonna tackle you down into the
I don't
to the
agree with
ground.
that
They
either.
have a male on a female's team, and I guess that's an equality type of thing. It doesn't put people in an awkward position on doing something that you love. I think that you should absolutely go after the things that you love to do.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think it's awkward at all.
I agree with that, but I'm talking about how it changes the game, and it
Okay.
absolutely.
The changes
But see,
inevitable,
here's
it
the
must
thing,
happen.
because we
Yes,
go
it
back.
Call it something else.
We go back to sports. If
I
you
don't
look
know.
back, if you look back at
I'm not
sports,
trying
and if
to
you
relate
look
the
back
sport
at music,
personally.
they've done a lot in bringing changes, especially change for women. Sports, we've opened up doors. But when now you say, okay, I agree with this. Men and women should be equal when it comes to this, but they should not be equal when it comes to this. That becomes the problem. You understand? If I could get up,
That's
and
not what I said, though.
no, but what you're saying is, women she shouldn't be on that football team because she's a female. She shouldn't be playing with men.
Yeah, I think there should be a
Okay.
female football team.
I agree with you on
Okay,
that.
but there isn't one
And
right
then
now.
when there
But there
is
isn't.
like, and just like it wasn't a basketball team for women, and now that there is a very big difference between how the men and the women get
But maybe
paid.
it takes that one
Get paid.
woman to play with that man so we can now have.
No, listen. Because if
It
I
takes-
and listen,
it
we
takes women
niggas
creating
gonna knock your head off.
women.
Yeah.
We coming to end your career.
Come on now.
We gonna break your legs, and then you gonna holler, me too, boo.
Tight when she
If she wanna, if that's
You gonna call Toronto? You gonna call Toronto when we break your fucking legs? When we close around your ass?
she knows it. You know what I mean? Like she knows it.
I just want to
She
play
knows
devil's
what she signed
advocate
up
real
for.
quick.
College.
Just real quick, y'all, that play devil's advocate. At the end of the day, you started out talking about your book, right? And you started talking about how things we should understand about our men and where we go wrong.
Thank you for bringing
So
it back around.
I kind of want to bring it back.
Because I want to
because-
go in. You
No,
see something, I want
seriously,
to go in.
I really, I mean, we'll probably be friends after this. Okay, so I made a post the other day that said if you have a man that's a barber, invest in the highest quality clippers for him. You understand? It's about supporting your partner. So while I understand what you're saying, I kind of want you to elaborate a little bit more on what you're saying, so we don't take it like oh, it's not us doing something wrong. Can you just elaborate
Right,
a
but
little
see,
bit more?
no, let me thank you for bringing it back here. As soon as we're asked to be accountable, there's a breakout. If you look at my reviews on Amazon, and when I do some of my bits in my stand-up, I had a lady tell me at the beginning of my set, she was like, "You're canceled." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm the truth. By the end of this, you're going to love me if you listen. If you listen." By the end of it, she was following me out the door trying to ask me to fix her whole life. The women on Amazon who read my book, it's a different perspective. That's all. It's for us. It's for men too. It's for men too. There's a chapter in it for men's eyes only. Because once you have this woman that now is thinking logically above her emotions and also considering you, not always saying me, now what do? Do you take advantage of this woman that is now really fully on your side and learning your language, right? Do you take advantage of that woman? Or, so there's a chapter for men as well. But getting back to the point, it's for us. If you read the book, it's really just giving people the opportunity to live in their truth and get rid of that representative, both men and women. But it's just like some women who get mad at their man just because they looked at a woman walking by. But that same woman and that same man in that relationship will sit at home talking on the phone with her girlfriends, looking on Instagram like, oh yeah, he's fine, or looking at Idris, oh, he's fine, right in front of her man, and don't see nothing wrong with it. And if he says something, we're like, kind of bitch ass dude am I with?
That's true.
So it's just a book about my prior relationship with the out of the box point of views that worked for us. And we just say why. And it wasn't all about men ain't shit. It was also like, all right, you know what, we ain't shit too sometimes.
Right,
Let me see what am I doing wrong.
Can you give them the title and the name of the book one more time so they can go pick it up?
The Speak Fluent Man. If you go to CoachVon.com, I just started my Patreon. There's a tier option where you could get the book for free. And it says subscribe. I think at the top of the page it says subscribe. You'll see it.
How much is the book?
Well, at the tier,
varies.
it's different tier levels. But if you just want to get the book,
Depending on how sad you are.
Depending on what
it's
chapter
different
you read.
Are you going to
options.
support Black
On
business?
my website, there's different options. SpeakFluentMan.com, you can get an autographed copy for like I think 20 plus shipping.
Oh, that's
Get
good.
that
And
money.
then if you want
let's
the
all give us
ebook-
$20 before we leave out here today.
You can get the
What the
ebook
fuck?
as well on Amazon.
You want them $20?
I don't care where they get it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Jack, we're going to support her. That's it.
Yeah. I haven't had an opportunity to read your book yet, but it sounds like you're talking about doing a lot of self-work. Is that right? Like work on yourself?
100%.
What self-work have you done on yourself?
Not enough. It's an ongoing, one of the things I talk about, one of the chapters is logic versus emotions, right? We're talking apples and oranges. In terms of men and women being equal as fruit, yes. But in terms of being apples and oranges, same thing. So men in general are logical. They lead with logic. Women, we lead with our emotions. So I've learned how to think above my emotions into a logical place. However, I'm still a woman.
That's right.
And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, you know what? I am fighting something right now. I'm trying to apply logic. Sometimes I just apply logic to some crazy ass emotions, and that's what I'm like, let me check my period app, because this ain't working out well. Right, but it's as a woman, you will always be fighting those emotions into a logical place.
Okay, so you're talking about relationships and that sort of thing. So are you in a relationship right now?
I'm finally dating.
What? Okay.
It took me a long time. I've been single for 7 years.
Okay.
And I went through a lot of different things because my fiance passed 7 years ago.
Okay. I'm really
1
sorry to
month
hear
prior to
that.
our wedding date.
Wow.
And the book is a memoir of our relationship and why we worked for 10 years. So it took me a while when I got back out there trying to date.
Right.
But when we first got together, there wasn't a lot of social media and all of that involved in relationships.
Okay.
So now I'm back out to the wolves. Like I don't even know what to do. I need to read my book.
Right.
I went all the way back to ground zero. You know, having straight girl arguments with grown ass men. For real. So, you know, I took some time and I went through a phase where I was messy. And then I went through a phase where...
What messy like how?
Messy like dating, or not dating, just being like falling down on a dick.
What you feel like?
I'm a virgin. Y'all hoes leave me alone.
I got a question for him.
So
there was a lot of lonely moments where, you know, it was a dick and a donut, you know.
Dick and a
You find yourself not lonely for the next few minutes.
Hey,
So,
come on.
yeah.
What they
When
say
you
about
say calling
Dunkin'
yourself
Donuts?
messy, do you feel like you were like finding yourself? Or
No.
do you feel like you were
No,
like...
I was literally at some point like, as long as somebody is here.
Okay.
And if somebody's not available, Dunkin' Donuts is.
Okay.
Come on.
So you think you were like more or less
America
kind of
runs on
belittling
donuts.
yourself? You think that you were more or less kind of like belittling yourself then, kind of? Like
No,
if you're
I
saying
was
just
going
like
through
anybody?
something. I was going through
Okay,
something.
and you just needed someone to be there.
Yeah, and
I
I found myself lost in a lot of places.
Hey.
Reestablishing my career, reestablishing who I am.
Exactly.
Because for a long time, I was in a relationship and I was known as that person's woman and Mimi's mom. Like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I do have a name.
Right.
You know, because as women, a lot of times we put our careers way behind our man's career.
That ain't no
Was
wrong
he
with
a
And
that.
our
high
children.
profile
Right.
figure?
Hmm?
Was he a high profile figure? Was he known?
In the comedy world.
Let me tell you something. He's a comedic god.
Yeah.
His name is Patrice O'Neal. And this
I
guy.
like how the made it make all sense.
Yeah. And she wasn't dating Harold. And it's funny. It's funny that you even say that because like I had one of his last interviews and stuff, and you know, Teo, he's in a group called Drew Hill. Cisco came to me. He's like, "Yo, I love that interview that you did with Patrice." So remember I telling you that shit a long time ago? And at the time when I was talking to Patrice, I'm from down south. I liked all the niggeristic comics. So Patrice O'Neal, he was one of the smarter comics. Like he was like the Chris Rock type. He was very introspective. He was on a whole nother level. He was a guy that definitely he needs an unsung, and you have to produce his unsung episode. But he was a guy.
I'm working on his documentary still.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
His documentary.
Okay. He was a guy, I had reached out to him through another guy. He's passed away too. His name is Todd Lynn. And they didn't like each other either because they was damn near the same type of comic. Very in your face, cutting edge, you know, what's happening. You know, and I remember calling Patrice and I was like, hey, what's up? My name is Jack Thriller and I want to interview you. And he was like, man, how the fuck you get my number? That's the first thing he said. Well, I can't tell you that because the nigga told me that gave me your number, don't tell you. He said, but I fuck with you. He's like, hey, so let me tell you something. I fuck with the shit that you doing right now, and you're funny as fuck and da-da-da-da. And if this really Jack Thriller, I'm gonna come see you, give me your address and blah, blah. I told him to come see me at G Unit, it's 2 blocks away. He came up and saw me, we talked for like 4 hours, and he gave me some of the best information. We didn't even do an interview. We became friends, and he invited me out to places, and we just started building a friendship. He never told me that he was dying. And then we finally did an interview at Caroline's and blah, blah, blah. And he died maybe, I want to say, literally a month later. Literally a month later.
You all right?
What, right now?
And I went to the funeral, and it was a who's who of who was there at the funeral. Chris Rock, Kevin Hart did the eulogy. Dane Cook was there. Seinfeld, all kind of niggas. I was like, what the fuck? And at the time, my driver was there, and he's someone. His name is Daniel. Y'all seen that? Daniel came over. Yeah, he was there with me. He drove me to the funeral. They were back in what was it? 11 or 10?
2011.
11. This happened in 11. Daniel wasn't shit then. And this man had all the praise in the world, and I had got caught up on him, and I understood what I was dealing with. He was a comedian's comedian. He had changed the world already to people that people think changed the world. And that's big as fuck. He gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten in my life. He said, Jack, yo, you're really smart. You're really cutting edge and shit. But what I want you to do is, don't ever say frivolous shit. When you say something, say things that are going to mean something that's going to transcend and affect people and help them. And make it funny. And another thing, have an opinion. But don't let an opinion have you. Mm-hmm. Take your time with that. You'll get it later. I did. It took years for me to really understand. To damn near this year, with all the adversity that I've been through in the last 3 years, I get everything he said now. And if you take what I'm saying to you now and dissect it, because I'm going to make it a little bit more lame for you, you're going to be all right. That's my Patrice feel.
So, yeah, that tends to happen when his name comes up. He wanted me to write a book based on his philosophies, his own relationships, because he was really well known for those relationship philosophies. From my female perspective and why these things worked. So, the reason I didn't, when he was alive, I was like, nah. And he was like, well, give me a list of the top things that you feel like you've learned from being able to see it from a male point of view. So when I came into that relationship, I was like, all right, we always, as women, will baby boy up a situation. Meaning, tell me the truth. And then they tell you the truth and we're like, why you? And then all we did is just set that man up to never tell us the truth again. Mm-hmm, so right. I said, you know what? I want to know why men think they have to lie. Because I keep asking for the truth and I don't think I'm ever getting it. And he was like, all right, welcome. And for 10 years. So when he always said, you speak fluent him. You have a black belt in me. And he's like, you should write a book. Women listen to you differently than they'll listen to me. And I was like, nah. Because you see what the fuck is gonna happen. We just saw, right? And at the time I was like, no, I didn't want to do it. So he's like, just write down the top things you feel like. So I did. I gave him my outline: jealousy, trust issues, logic versus emotions, the natural order of things. And I gave it to him and he kissed me on my forehead. He was like, you'll have a bestseller one day. And left the situation alone. And I was like, I ain't never write this shit. I thought that was enough. And then when he passed away, I went into super duper work mode of, all right, whatever we were working on, I'm going to finish. Mm-hmm. So I produced 3 of his comedy albums. I finished the book. And, I'm working on this documentary, all of that jazz. And I'm happy I did the book, but because I'm stronger now than I was then. And in terms of, I do try to keep myself and my responsibility to his legacy very separately, because it's very difficult for me as a comedian. And it's funny because the shadow I thought I was going to live in as a stand-up comic when he was alive is actually bigger now that he's passed. Mm-hmm. So, most comedians get on stage, and Jack knows, most comedians get on this stage and they are judged for their work or their lack thereof. When I get on stage, I got a lot of shit ahead of me. She's a woman. She can't be funny. Mm-hmm. She's a black woman. She gonna be loud and just talk about sex. She's a voluptuous woman. She definitely gonna be talking about fucking. Oh, that's Patrice O'Neal's widow? So it's all of that. So before I even open my mouth, I have way more challenges. But it's up to me that in the first 30 seconds I wipe all of that. Mm-hmm. All of that off of your mind. I don't do excessively vulgar material on stage. I work on substance. Jack came to see me at Carolina.
Most of you was amazing.
When I did my first headlining set. Thank you.
Cried. I'm a good actor.
Angela was there when I host for Donnell Rollins at Caroline. Yep. A few months before that, and Angela was there. Mm-hmm. That's where I saw her right before I did Breakfast Club. But a lot of times when I'm doing interviews, it does shift and become about him. And I'm just learning how to navigate that. That's why when you asked me earlier, is there anything that you don't want me to ask you? Usually, a lot of times I'm saying, let's not talk about Patrice, because then it becomes about Patrice.
But it ain't nothing wrong with that either. I'm going to say that. Vaughn, you done made your own lane inside of this industry.
Absolutely, and I'm still working on that.
And let me tell you something. Let me go bigger.
I had a relationship with comedy before I had a relationship with Patrice. When I moved here from Pittsburgh, I thought I was gonna be Whoopi Goldberg. I didn't know.
But outside of that, even if you didn't have that, how hard is it to be a standout person in comedy? Like even Taylor, he'll tell you the same thing. And Drew Hill, how hard is it to be a standout person
I'll be
inside something
honest,
that's already made?
I do tell people when I talk about comedy, right? I do tell people, and I have to tell audience members this a lot. But in terms of comedy, right, you have to look at comedy like this. Almost like music. There's all types of genres. Right. There's heavy metal, R&B, rap, everything in between. Everything ain't for everybody.
Right.
So as a comedian, there's every single person is they may be in a genre of comedy in some aspects, but really they're seriously their own individual. Stand-up is one of those positions where you are literally being yourself. You have absolutely, in my opinion, no competition. Women shouldn't hate on each other. Black on black crime shouldn't happen. None of that should happen in a comedy club, even though it does, because it's competitive, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Nobody can beat me. Nobody can wear my shoes. Nobody's doing my material unless they're doing a wacky, hacky version of what I'm doing. Even if I'm doing my mom bitch, my material about, my daughter or whatever, there may be some similarities, like another comedian that's a woman that has a daughter. Right. There may be some parallel thinking, but we still have two different experiences and two different perspectives. So the way she handles her daughter and the funny she found in it is going to be totally different, even if it's the exact same situation. So that's how I look at comedy. Like, you really are in your own lane. And I woke up in trauma. You know what I mean? I grew up in the projects during the Nino Brown era, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
So I woke up in trauma. My survival has been. I was on to something. They was finally listening to me.
I was taking us back a couple years.
I finally got
I took us back 20 years just now.
You
want somebody for what? It's so hard to get your hits up right now.
Something funny in absolutely everything.
I feel like comedy is finding the funny in the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Truth in comedy. Yeah. You know what? I was on a podcast recently with Roy Wood Jr. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's from The Daily Show. Hilarious. And I told him, because I had a journalism scholarship in school. I'm a writer at heart. And when I was in college, I started learning about Malcolm X, all this stuff I didn't see in high school. I blacked out. And I was learning. I was like, you know what? Y'all really are teaching me, but trying to teach us how to tell the news and show that it doesn't have a slant, but it has a slant. And I can't do that. And this ain't fun. I want to, be in the entertainment world and be funny and do all of this stuff, and cut to now in the society that we're in right now. And this is what I said to Roy. I know more people that would tune into The Daily Show and the Weekend Report on SNL to see Michael Che to get the truth. More than CNN, Fox, because it's like, all right, I don't know what the news is talking about, but I know these comedians are going to tell the truth. So I'm like, God is funny. Like, stop playing with me. I said I didn't want to be a journalist, but here I am, finding the truth in politics, current events, all of that stuff.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Harmony.
Gentlemen first.
Hey, I don't want no trouble.
Come on, ask your question. Stop playing.
Okay, let's go.
I just wanted to know, you're a comic. Who were some of your inspirations coming up that made you?
Well, like I said, when I was younger, I loved Whoopi Goldberg. I used to, when she did her one-woman show, which is very different from stand-up, but when she did her one-woman show for HBO, I learned all the characters, and I used to perform all the characters for my family. And I had an attraction to New York City. I never really had an LA bug in me. for whatever reason, I always was very attracted to New York. So Whoopi was the first woman I remember really going, oh, that's dope. You know, and then I think there was like the Roseannes of the time and all of that. And as far as women, but as far as men, you know.
Before we knew she was racist.
Well, that's why a lot of men
She's just a
say,
funny.
like,
She's not racist. She's not
Well,
racist.
That's what I said.
Here's the thing.
She has an
It
agenda.
hurt me too because I used to
I
love
love Roseanne.
Yeah.
I love Roseanne. I love watching
Roseanne.
Roseanne and the show and all of that. But in defense of comedy, I say this to every fucking comedian. Don't taint us. You know the difference between I'm telling a joke and I just fucked up saying some racist shit, but I'm gonna use comedy to hide behind that. Don't do that.
Wait. So
Don't do that.
Wait. So you think Roseanne is racist?
I think that she has said a lot of racist shit.
I think that she took the easy way out, and you know, some of us sell our soul to gain the world.
But you know what? At the end of the day,
no, because
she
I know
can be
comics
racist
like
if she want to. I don't care if she's racist.
I did, because I don't like a lot of black people. I don't like a lot of black people at all. A lot of black people. I don't
You got your
fuck
freedom.
niggas in so many different
But
ways.
you're allowed to be racist, but I'm also allowed to react to that.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's it. And there's consequences to everything. I don't believe in the cancel culture and clickbait and all of a sudden, you know, ooh, hashtag me too, I'm canceled. Like, come on. Do y'all understand that that's hurting us as women more than it's hurting men? It looks like, oh, we taking down every man. Every man get to take, all of them ain't shit, all of them. So you gotta lose your job. And I get it. Men, stop raping us. We know that. That's bad. Stop doing that. So, shut up. Stop doing that.
Get started, Jack.
But as someone who has been a victim and abused,
Man, who is he?
when you start putting everything under the same umbrella, you know what happens? Don't nobody want to hear that shit. And that's dangerous. Because right now,
Hey, y'all better stop raping these girls, man.
stop raping.
Cause y'all messing it up for all us other niggas who wanna just regular trick them out the pussy and call it a day.
What's happening is, I feel like when you hear like somebody got physically assaulted and raped, it's falling under the same umbrella as he brushed up against my shoulder at the club.
It's too much.
And I know that's an exaggeration and everything in between, but
that's
y'all
about
what
right.
I'm saying.
I
think that's dangerous
It's
for
about
us.
right.
Not only, I don't think necessarily
under the same umbrella.
it's agreeing with you. It's not. I don't think about myself because I feel like now I'm a grown woman. You know, I can protect myself. But I do have a son, and I'm scared. You know what I mean? I'm scared for my son.
Absolutely.
I'm scared about everything. I'm
when
paranoid.
you've been abused, you become very paranoid as a parent and very suspicious.
But what about us as being sexually abused? I was sexually abused. You told me you was gonna get some pussy.
Even my
I had paid for this meal.
Right. So here's the thing. Here's what I agree. Y'all was talking earlier about no victim blaming. I agree. It's not the victim's fault. She had on a short skirt, so I thought she wanted it. No, that's bullshit.
No.
That's bullshit.
I asked her if she wanted it.
However, as a woman, I've also been taught, and I taught my daughter, be aware of yourself. Don't leave your drink on the bar and go to the bathroom. Always go to the bathroom with one of your friends. Make sure you got good friends.
Leave with your friend.
Trying to sneak you with some shit.
Right.
I taught her how to protect herself. Now, if something was to happen because she didn't follow one of those rules,
How old is she?
I'm not gonna say, oh, she did it herself. Of course not.
She got a 31-year-old
But I'm also,
daughter.
I think it's dangerous as women for us to go, all right, whatever we do is right. And are we really about to teach our young girls not to protect themselves? Are we really about to do that? And in terms, and this is separate, but in terms of what I said earlier when everybody started yelling at me.
You were scared. You were scared,
knew from the
Don't be
jump.
scared.
Here's what I want to say, because I
You
said
were
it
scared.
earlier when I was like, we have power over men too. Not physically in a sense of rape. I mean, Jack is weak, so we.
Cause I get raped all the time. Like, hey, take it, girl. You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that.
But here's what I say this. I said this the night, and probably more funny in a moment when our girl was like, you're canceled, all of that, right? So I went through a bunch of different scenarios in a funny manner. And one of them was like, if there's any women here tonight that is out with a man, having dinner and drinks, just because he paying, you ain't shit. You're an asshole.
You a bitch.
Don't do that.
I hate you, hoe.
If you don't like him, why are you doing that? You stood at the bar. You flirted with this dude for 20 minutes till he bought you a $15 drink. And when he was like, oh, where you going? Can I get your number? You was like, ah, me too. Come on. We got to do our part too.
I got a question for you.
You ain't shit. Do it again, once again. If you go, I want to walk out to the camera. I want to walk out to the camera.
I only go out.
No, fuck that. No. Like I said before. And fill my glass back up. And don't let that slide. Man, don't ever put my glass on the floor. Don't ever put the bottle on the floor no more. Look here. Check this out. Ladies, if you don't like a guy, don't go out with him. If you don't let him move. Don't let whatever going on in your life.
I'm dating a guy that's broke because I like him.
Let that be the reason.
Better in my life.
Let that be the reason. I ain't say you deserve anything that happened after that, but what I'm saying is you deserve anything that happened after that.
No, you don't deserve anything that happened after that.
Okay. Listen. I said it wrong. Look at.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
I said it wrong inside of a. I'm gonna say to y'all I said to y'all what I would say to my daughter, but now I'm gonna say to y'all what.
Be honest. That's the bottom line. Be honest.
Be honest. Okay, well, I'm gonna stand by what I said first time then.
No, not the first time.
No. Hey, listen. Let me help somebody's daughter out real quick. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. If you don't like me, don't go out with me. Don't hang with me. I don't hang with niggas I don't fuck with. I don't hang with people I don't fuck with. If I don't like you, I don't fuck with you. If you turn me off the rip, don't let me. I shouldn't have to win you over. You supposed to fuck with me off the rip. Some people just ain't supposed to cross paths, and that's just how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm talking about? Call your mama, call your cousin if you ain't got nothing to eat that night. Call anybody that fuck with you. That'll give you some food and da. Don't call me. Don't call me.
I thought you told them don't make it about them. Now it's about you.
Can we look at
This
this?
is some
Y'all heard what I
bullshit.
said. You heard what I said. Hey, don't let these motherfuckers get you locked up. You heard what I said, my nigga. If she ain't fucking with you and you feeling like she ain't fucking with you, don't try to win. I'm telling you, it's 1,000, 100,000 more motherfuckers gonna fuck with you. Lady, if you got a house and whatnot, you got 5 kids and shit, it's a nigga that'll like a girl that got 5 kids that ain't got no kids that's gonna fuck with you.
Yes.
You just gotta keep on dating. Keep on milling it around.
Here's the
You'll
thing,
feel it.
Jack,
You'll feel it.
can I
You'll
bring up
feel
a
it.
situation?
You'll feel it.
Can I bring up a situation?
Yes, you can.
So,
Yes.
does everybody remember when you want? So,
Come on, Jack.
Damn.
Come on.
I hate you. You in the back now for me on that. You in the back now. You don't know how to pacify my
y'all
ego.
remember when Black China? Y'all already know
Wait,
what I'm
which?
talking
Wait,
about.
No, there's a different couple of
She
different
said
instances. Which part?
Okay.
Black China Raw Kardashian.
Oh, that's enough now.
We were talking about a man who was on the verge of suicide. She made this man believe that she loved him, had a baby, and then did what she did. We all remember that, right? I was watching the comments on Instagram. Get it, girl! You did that. You got that golden baby. You did.
That's fucked up.
That was horrible, and that's a great example. I was like, why are we celebrating this?
He seems
this
so
is trash.
sweet.
This is trash.
Fucked her up, but something happened.
This
I
is
don't-
trash.
I don't agree.
You use this rich man, and everybody celebrating this golden baby that you just got out of this rich dude. Oh, you got your Kardashian baby and all of that. You tricked him. You tricked him.
Straight trickery.
What I'm saying is, of course, that's the next angle. That's the, okay, well, what happened with this, that? What I'm addressing is one specific thing. The celebration of the trickery. There was a clear celebration of the trickery. And I thought that was disgusting.
It was.
And wrong.
It's very wrong.
Now, of course, we don't know. We are not in their relationship. We don't know what he was doing, what she was doing. We don't know what's true and what's not true. We could say that about everything. But in terms of what I was speaking about is once, and that's why you gotta be willing to have real conversations and focus in on one thing at a time, because that's how you end up in a hamster wheel that we're all in so from race, relationships, we're in a hamster wheel, because it's like, all right, we're not gonna address this one thing that was just said, we're gonna talk about the next thing. Before we could get to that, which we'll never really have any answers for because we don't know. And yeah, there's different scenarios for everything we can make up. But the one thing that was actual fact is I was watching people celebrate the idea of the trickery that was involved in that situation. And that's wrong. That's power over a man.
It's quiet. It's quiet.
One question.
I need a good one after this, and this is the last one because I know you're gonna give me what I need.
Well, it's more so a different perspective. I agree with what you're saying wholeheartedly. That was so wrong. I think what people were celebrating about, which is just as equally disgusting, is the fact that she had gotten back at the family. Because people tend to hate on that Kardashian empire and that family at all.
Yeah.
And people feel like, oh, get them back.
That's utterly ridiculous.
This is how we do it. It's
Bring a
stupid.
baby into the world.
Yeah, it's
Right.
dumb.
Stupid.
It's
That's
absolutely
Prey on a
dumb.
man that's about to kill himself and have a baby. I mean, if that's your moral code, then who am I to judge? But personally, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, like
wrong.
you were saying how people just celebrate the wrong things. Like, you know,
Some people,
when
not all.
Black China had the little tape that came out, nobody cared that she had the tape. They just was upset that she
Wait, which
didn't
tape? Was it
perform
more tape?
properly.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
She wasn't entertaining, so that was like, I thought that was dumb. Like, nobody is upset about
But-
her tape being out. Everybody was just like, well, what the hell? Like,
that
you
was
can't
an
do-
invasion of privacy,
No.
and you can't do that. But she is kind of sort of in the sex industry, so to speak. So she presents herself in a manner of, I do these things. So
Well,
I think it was less shocking
I
that
guess
a
it
tape
ain't
was out.
tricking if you got it, you know, and Rob he got it, so hey.
Wait, can I just ask her about her career really quickly? 'Cause, I mean, we're talking about you as a comedian, you know, and shout out to you.
Thank
Where do
you.
you see yourself moving forward in the future as far as like movies and television? Thank you for
In terms of backlash with any person, from the Tiffany's, the Kevin's, the Dane Cooks, or anyone in a business that rises really high, even in the music industry. Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z had a song about it, I think, the Holy Grail, where,
Yeah.
you know, you build me up to bring me down. That's the industry you chose to be in. So I understand there's a certain, you're a public figure, so you can't really control what people are going to say or think. There's 1,000 sound bites just from today that people can take out of context and try to do whatever to me. You can't really worry about that. You have to just go, I know I'm speaking my truth. I know the context in which I'm speaking my truth. I know what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. So in terms of me and my career, you know, my hopes and dreams is just to be a solid, well-respected, headlining comedian, tour all over the country. You know, thank you. I have my book, but honestly, it's something that's just there. It's been there for a while. It's life-changing information for people according to what they're saying. So I'm just now starting to be open to promote it, because when I wrote the book, I just put it out there and nobody hardly even knew about it, because I didn't want to have to focus on the things above my comedy. But I'm ready to talk about both. I just launched my Patreon, where once you subscribe, you will have exclusive access to live streaming of my podcast that I'm going to do once a month after a comedy show. And who's ever on my show, whatever comedians on my show, will then be the guest on the podcast. My Coach Vaughn's Corner show is going to be a digital media show. And there's also a tier level where you could get the book for free, and you could reach out to me. We could talk about that, the whole 9 yards. So if you go to CoachVaughn.com, you'll see all of that. And anyone who's familiar with Coach Vaughn's Corner, I was the first woman to have her own show on an NBA channel. On SiriusXM. This is an expansion of that. On the NBA channel, I was, believe it or not, very much censored, and it was on SiriusXM, which is crazy. But I was also very limited to just talking about basketball. So Coach Vaughn's Corner, as a digital media, on the digital media platform through my Patreon, it's uncensored. It's just me and comedians or any guests really chopping it up about current events, the stuff with relationships, all of this stuff. but really uncensored. Because I think it's really important that we have real conversations and stop hopping on bandwagons and have one point of view. Two things can be true at one time. And let's talk about it. Why not? Why are we, jumping on bandwagons and, I don't think it serves us very well as a people. So, yeah, CoachVaughn.com. Y'all hate me? Oh, wait. I'm going to be on lip service with Angela Yee March 28th.
Word. Let's get it. Hey, so we're finna take pictures right now. Y'all give it up for Von Decarlo one more time.
Subscribe to Party and Bullshit Show. We need you guys to subscribe, tap that bell, okay? And don't forget to comment. Thank you.